Hey guys, what's up? Chef Hamel here, and today I'm going to show you how to make a really easy salmon dish for dinner. So this particular cooking method is one that we did not learn in class. It is one that I would have introduced you to in the fourth quarter, so I'm a little sad that we missed out on that, but I'm going to show you how to make it at home because it's actually really easy. And this technique is called papillote. So papillote is a French technique of making a little pouch out of parchment paper. Papillote means paper in French. And you actually steam fish, chicken, vegetables, whatever you're cooking in the pouch. And steam is created in the pouch from the cooking process and is trapped in that pouch. And that is what gives a really nice moisture and flavor to whatever you're cooking. So today we are going to be using salmon because that is just what I happen to have. This is an individually frozen salmon fillet that I got at Costco. They're usually in the frozen section, and for someone like me that lives alone, these are really great because I can just take out one fillet when I want to use it. So I fully defrosted this. I need to cut open my pouch so I can dry off my salmon before I season it. I am using some vegetables and some beans today in my pouch along with my salmon. It's kind of up to you. You can use whatever vegetables that you'd like. You could even put some thin slices of potato in there if you wanted to. And of course, if you didn't like salmon or didn't have salmon on hand, you could also use really any type of fish. Flounder would be really great with this. Swordfish, I do this way. And it's just a really, really easy way to cook fish, and it's really easy cleanup, which is even better. So I'm gonna just pat my piece of fish dry. Now this piece of salmon has the skin on it. I'm actually going to take the skin off this just because I am not going to be crisping it up, and I just don't like the soggy skin. So I'm just going to run my knife parallel to my cutting board, keeping it as flat as I can, so I just cut off the skin and not any of the flesh. And then I'm gonna season this up, and I'm gonna show you how to make our pouch. There we go. So the skin is off. I'm just gonna discard the skin, and we can season this bad boy up. So to season this, I'm gonna be using some salt and pepper. Make sure you get both sides. I am also going to use a little bit of crushed red pepper, just because I like a little bit of heat. Don't worry, I will sanitize these after, because I touch them with raw fish hands. So don't come at me. A little bit of dried Italian herb mix that I have. I would love to use some fresh herbs like thyme or parsley, but I don't really have any on hand, so dried herbs it is. So I have that. Oh, and then the last thing I want to do is just zest a little bit of lemon on top of the fish as well. Beautiful. So I'm going to set my fish aside for a second, and I'll show you what else is going in our pouch. So I made this really delicious mixture before. It is just some sauteed leeks with a little bit of asparagus that I just happen to have in my fridge, a can, or not a can, cannellini beans that I opened yesterday, and I had some left over, and a few tomatoes that I cut up, some garlic, some of that Italian herb seasoning, some of crushed red pepper, and then I just deglazed the pan a little with some white wine. It's really important when you're doing this method that there's moisture inside of the pouch, because in order for the fish to cook, it needs the steam, and that is the point of making the pouch. So I also have a little bit of chicken stock, which I'm going to add to the pouch as I assemble it, so there's added moisture. So we are going to take some parchment paper. I'm going to pull out a nice big piece, because we're going to trim it anyway. Now the pouch is going to be folded in half, and it's traditionally cut into kind of like a half moon shape. So I'm going to use my scissors and cut like a half circle. Actually, you know what shape really works well? It's almost like you're making a heart. So as if you were cutting a heart, right? And you folded your paper in half and you cut like a half circle shape, kind of. But you know what I'm saying, heart shape. Everyone can cut a heart in paper, right? I'm at a loss for words, it's okay. So on one side of my parchment paper, I am going to actually add a little bit of olive oil, just so everything doesn't stick. I am going to add some of my vegetable and bean mixture. Now, when you add vegetables to the pouch, you don't necessarily have to pre-cook them. I just cooked them slightly, just so they were a little bit softened, because I want to make sure that they cook through in the cooking process. Fish doesn't necessarily take that long to cook, and it might cook faster than the vegetables, so I just want to make sure that they got a little bit of a head start. So I'm going to place most of the vegetables on the bottom, and the rest I'm going to save for the top. I'm going to take my piece of fish, place that right on top of my veg, and I'm going to add a little bit of this chicken stock. Mix it up a little bit. You don't need a ton. You have to be careful. You don't want it to leak everywhere. But the paper will hold it in, even though it may not seem like it. That should be good. Don't want it to leak everywhere. And then I'm going to put the rest of my vegetables on top, because you really want the flavor in the vegetables to infuse into your fish or your chicken if you were using chicken. And this could be really a whole complete meal. I'm actually making some roasted potatoes in the oven too, just because I wanted some potatoes. But really this is a complete meal in itself, especially with the beans. And I will put some other recipes in the description below if you don't have this stuff on hand. So I have everything in my pouch. I'm going to fold this over, and I am going to start crimping the paper. So you're gonna twist in the paper like that, fold it over a few times, and then you're gonna keep folding over the edges, because you need to seal all of this inside. Otherwise, all of the steam is going to escape and you're not going to get the end result that you're looking for. So I'm just gonna keep folding over the edge, folding over the edge. Until you have a tight little pouch here. Now it might not be perfect, it might not necessarily look absolutely gorgeous, and that's okay. You just want to make sure that all of the little folds are really nice and tight. That's the important part. You don't want any of the steam to escape. So I have my little pouch, right? All of the sides are really nice and crimped, are folded over. I don't think there's going to be any places where steam will escape. And just to be safe, I'm gonna put this on a cookie sheet or a sheet pan for when I put it in the oven. I don't want any of it to accidentally leak out and get in my oven. So I am going to cook this on 375 degrees for about 15 to 20 minutes until the fish is cooked through, and then I will show you the final product. Hey guys, welcome back. I'm going to take my salmon out of the oven and we are gonna plate it up. So if you look at the pouch, it is really nice and puffed, which is what you're looking for. That is the telltale sign that all of that beautiful steam was trapped inside of the pouch and steamed all of the fish and vegetables together. So I'm gonna place this down. Now, there's a few different ways that you could plate this up, but it's really nice to keep the fish actually in the paper when you plate it, because that's how it was cooked and it kind of keeps everything together, and it's a really kind of pretty presentation. So I'm just going to carefully pick this up, place that down. Where's my knife? Oh, here it is. And I am going to cut a nice little incision down my paper so I can kind of open it up. You have to be careful. The steam is very, very hot, and a steam burn is absolutely the worst. So just be very, very careful. Struggling here. Scissors would probably be easier, but it's okay. Oh, it looks so good. And everything is nice and tucked in there, which is what you want. And all the juice is in there. So that's why I kind of like keeping it in the paper. Let me get my roasted potatoes. I just did one potato, so it's not a lot, but it will be a nice side. Put that on the side of my plate. And there you go. So let me move this out of the way and I will show you guys a close up. So the fish looks absolutely gorgeous. Try to get a nice close up there. Really, really beautiful. And all of the flavors are trapped in that beautiful pouch. So I am really excited to eat this. I am going to leave this recipe in the description below, as well as some other recipes for en papillote, either for salmon, other different types of fish, or for chicken. If you have any questions about this specific cooking method, or what flavors or ingredients would go good together, please comment down below, and make sure you share this video with your family and friends. And thank you so much for watching.